If you want to farm the Linea Airdrop and maximize the potential amount that you could get, you need to be following along with their campaign that's going on right now. It's currently week 5 of that campaign, and the task this week is to provide liquidity on one of the DeFi apps for Linea. If you don't know about this, you can still start doing these activities now and still qualify for the airdrop. I'm going to leave a link to their campaign page below this video so you can go to that and complete these tasks as well. Now, unfortunately, Gwei right now, where Ethereum gas fees are super high, pretty much as high as they've been in a long time. And so that means completing these tasks are going to be expensive. However, since it is time sensitive and it expires in a couple of days, unfortunately, still have to do it if we want to get the points for this and then to maximize our potential airdrop from Linea. So we just have to grit our teeth and do it, even though it's going to be super expensive. And so if you want to follow along with this video, I'll show you exactly how you can provide liquidity and collect some points for the Linea airdrop. Now, before you complete the actual task, you can scroll through this information where they tell you what it means to provide liquidity. I'm not going to read through all of this, so you can do that on your own time if you're interested. But once you have completed the learning portion of this task, you can hit on the core tasks, which is to provide liquidity to select pairs on supported dexes. So let's open this up where we can see that these are the assets that we need to provide liquidity for. Now, obviously you don't need to do it for all of these. You just need to provide liquidity for one pair to get the points for this task, the core task. And when I say pair, usually what that means is when you're providing liquidity, you need to provide 2 assets. One of those assets will usually be ETH or a stable coin, but there's other options as well, especially for other assets. So for this tutorial, I'm actually going to provide liquidity for ETH and Lido staked ETH. And actually, if we go back here, you can see that that is one of the bonus tasks, is to provide liquidity for a liquid staking token pair. So by providing liquidity for ETH and staked ETH in one transaction, I'll be able to collect both of these points for the core task and the bonus task. But you can use any of these assets on here, and once you've chosen the assets that you want to provide, you hit next, and then you're going to select a partner. I'm just going to use SyncSwap, which is a decentralized exchange that I'm actually a pretty big fan of. So you can hit go to app, and it's gonna pop up in a new tab with the application. Now my wallet is already connected, and it automatically detects what assets I have in that wallet. And I just need to find the pool that I want to provide liquidity to. And luckily, it's actually the first one here at the top of the list. So I'm going to provide liquidity to the wrapped staked ETH/ETH pool. You can see that this is actually yielding a 10.7% APR per year, which is pretty good. And it's got a lot of liquidity in it, almost $4.5 million. And there's definitely something to that safety in numbers. If you're just depositing and then withdrawing once you complete the task, that's completely fine. If you're depositing into a liquidity pool and you want to leave it in there to earn some yield over time, then it's good to actually choose a pool that is safe, where you don't have a chance of experiencing something called permanent loss. So yeah, I'm going to deposit to this first pool here, but you could make your deposit to any of these liquidity pools on the list, or also any of these other DeFi platforms here, you could do the same thing for. So once you choose the DeFi platform and the assets that you want to provide, you select the pool and hit enter. Now here on the left-hand side, these are the buttons that you need to be concerned with. This is the overview of the actual pool. So you can see that there's about $4.5 million in liquidity, and that people that swap on SyncSwap are using this liquidity pool. So over the last 24 hours, almost $400,000 in swaps using this pool have occurred, which generates fees for the people that provide liquidity, and that's where that APR comes from. So if we go down here to the deposit button, this is where I can make a deposit into this pool. So I need to deposit at least $25. It's not going to be $25 of one asset. It's a $25 total deposit. And so if I select 0.1 wrapped staked ETH and then toggle this button here to balance my deposit, so I'm going to deposit the same amount in wrapped staked ETH and ETH, then I'm going to be making a deposit that is worth much more than $25. Now this is going to be a 2-step transaction, unfortunately, given the expensive gas fees right now. Insane. But first I have to unlock my staked ETH token, and then I have to actually make the deposit. So the first step is to hit unlock and then sign a transaction in my wallet. Then I have to deposit both of these tokens into the pool. and it's going to pop up in my wallet asking me to confirm the transaction. So this transaction is going to cost about $4. If I'm feeling lucky, I could try to get some lower gas by selecting the low gas option on MetaMask. It will probably take longer for this transaction to confirm because other transactions that have higher gas will go in before mine. But let's just set it at low and see if we can snipe a little bit of a gas cost savings here. So I'll hit confirm on this, and I'm just looking at these gas transaction fees as essentially costs that I'm paying to qualify for the Linea Airdrop. Whether or not you're comfortable paying these costs is obviously totally up to you. I personally think it's worth it, but you have to make that call for yourself. Anyways, it looks like my transaction went through. So let's just see if I open up my wallet and open up the transaction. Yeah, it cost me $3.72 to deposit into this liquidity pool. So now if I go over here to my position, it shows up the total value of my position is $52 currently. And these are the assets that I have deposited, now earning fees. And that is it. If I go back over to the Quest page, I can hit start verification and then select proceed. And I'm just gonna have to wait up to an hour for this to be verified. But as soon as this is verified, I can collect my points and verify this bonus task here as well. So that is it. Hopefully you found this tutorial helpful, and if you want to follow along and see tutorials on the future Linea campaign weeks as well as other airdrop tutorials, I've got a big one coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching and have a great day.